I'm not really sure why, but it seems that my videos in past on COVID-19 have not been particularly popular, so I want to let people know today is a video on COVID-19. So if you have a problem with that, maybe it's something that you don't want to pay attention to. I'm not trying to push people in any way. I just want to present some information for them, and I'm going to do a thing I'm calling a different direction here on the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host, I'm Kurt, and today is Saturday the 25th of September of 2021. Welcome to everyone who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, and on YouTube. Remember, Rumble is my preferred platform, and again, we're going to talk on the subject of a different direction today, and I'm going to go ahead and go through my notes very quick to kind of give you an idea where I am. This is one of those days when I have to give the crassness disclaimer. It needs to be well understood that nobody, and you can be sure that includes me, who is a decent human being, wants to see anyone else die or even be mildly, much less seriously ill. You can be sure that that's the truth. I want to say, too, my discussion is surrounding the provisional death counts, not things like potential serious consequences. Why do I do that? Well, frankly, it's because it's almost impossible to speak quantitatively about less severe consequences than death. Obviously, there are some that are quite severe, so I'm not trying to say that they're not. To begin with, measuring pain or disability is horribly hard to do. On top of that, how things appear in the short term may be totally different than how they look 10 years down the road, for better or for worse. In other words, you can find yourself in a way better situation or way worse. After all of this is considered, I want to be plain. There's an old expression that people my age or older have likely encountered before. It is Johnny come lately. Let me assure you, where data analysis is concerned, that expression does not apply to me. Looking at the subject of this video, I started to do a deep dive into the CDC's data surrounding provisional death counts by age and sex. And I had a particular interest in age. Sex is maybe another one that ought to be considered, but at this point, age was the one that I had in mind. It was then I realized a couple of things. The first is that I would no way have time to go in depth on the data. The second, that I love data far more, than I should, and most folks watching will have zero interest in me taking that plunge. I get that. I understand it. If you have such an interest, the data I'm using is readily available through the CDC's website, though some massaging is necessary to come to meaningful conclusions. Trust me on that. I had to do a little just to get where I got, and there's some stuff that's a little bit misleading if you're not careful when you're looking at it. For the rest of you, I'm going to do a data light version of the information the quick and dirty information that I found that I think you might find useful, worthwhile, or interesting. I will discuss certain information and present a graphic based directly on the CDC's data to show you where I'm getting what I'm getting. Let me start by asking a simple question. How old are you? I'm going to bet the majority of people are going to answer that with under 50. If you're under 50, I'm over that age by some years, you should know your chance of dying from SARS-CoV-2 is exceptionally low. Don't believe me? Check out the graphic further into this video, and you'll see why I say what I do. One more thing. I can't think of anything more obvious than the idea that we need to protect older folks, particularly at or above retirement age, where this disease is concerned. The question is, how? All right, I'm through my notes, so let me go ahead and move on and talk about the things that I want to discuss. I want to start out today. I'm going to try and do this fairly quickly. Get it done, get it out of the way fairly quickly. I'm going to show you this video, this screenshot. This is a screenshot of a spreadsheet that I've filtered heavily and that I've done some calculations at the bottom of it. You can see there's a white line and a dark line and then a empty line, white, dark, empty, white, dark, right? And the last one is an 50 and under percentage. So I want to point some things out. This is the SARS death data to the not quite the present day. We're very close to the present day. And I want to point something out to you. If you're 65 and over, you are in a group of which 519,464 people have died of COVID-19. The remainder, which I validate another way later on, is 152,557. Now, if you're 50 and over, you're part of a group in which 633,784 have passed away as a result of COVID. That leaves a remainder of 38,237 under the age of 50, out of a population of 330 million. Now, you see I've got an under 65 that matches the number up above. I calculated that a different way to make sure that I was accurate in what I was saying. You'll see that I also have one for under 50, and you'll see that you can't see how, but I calculated that a different way as well, the same way as I did for the number directly above it. Now, that under 50 percentage of people who have died, 0.01, and I have to tell you, I'm a little bit questionable as to whether or not that's accurate. I think it's probably lower than that. Really, if I took the number that came out of it because I rounded up, it would be somewhere between 0.01 and 0.02. It's a little bit higher than 0.01. Let me point something out. That's a percentage, and as a percentage, 0.01 represents 1 in 10,000 people. 1 in 10,000 people. I'm going to go ahead and drop the graphic. I think you've had enough chance to peruse it. Remember that you can always go back and you can, pause the video to see more if you want to do so. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say in all of this. If you look at the numbers, people my age and older are the people who have really suffered the most from this illness, from this ailment. People under the age of 50 for the entire period of 20 months, 20 months or 22 months or something like that. The number of people who've actually died from this disease under the age of 50 is so small that over the entire period it accounts 38,000, which I would bet is less than car deaths and cancer deaths for people in that same age range, 50 and below. The number, as you go, you can look again at the data if you want to, and you will see that the number under the age of 17 is exceptionally small. I'm going to look at this again just so that I can see. Again, you can go back to the data if you want to. Under 17, 0 to 17, the number is 464 over the entire period of the pandemic. What does that say to people who are school-aged? What does it say? It says that the number is so infinitesimally small that probably the number of people who died from late drownings is higher. I can't say for sure. I haven't done the research. So I'm telling you that seems probable to me, not that I know that it's true. I don't. I would be lying to you if I tried to tell you it was. What I'm getting at here, though, is the real concern is that people over the age of 65 are those who need to be worried about. People over the age of 50 to some degree. I want to add one other thought, though, and that other thought, I'm running out of time already, and I knew that this was going to happen, and that other thought is this. The other consideration is not only is this people over the age of 50 and really over the age of 65 who we need to be looking at mitigation for, but it's people with serious comorbidities in every age range, and that's certainly true for people over 65. If you have COPD, if you have diabetes, and you have severe need for medication and so forth, if you have already pneumonia or various other things, you can bet that COVID-19 is going to be a serious problem for you. Okay, and I want that to be clear. I want it to be very clear that what I'm not saying is that if you're over 65 or even over 50, you shouldn't be taking maybe more precautions than other people. I personally don't care for the idea of the vaccine. I could get into details as to why. I'm going to say the same thing that many other people have said. You need to seek professional opinions about that. I don't care if it's the CDC, I don't care if it's the WHO, I don't care if it's your particular doctor, but you need to seek professional opinions about that and not take mine. My opinion is only so useful to you. All right, I need to go ahead and wrap this up. As I say, I knew that this one was going to run long for me because I knew that it was something that I was going to take more time talking on than I really was wanting to. This is the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host. I'm Kurt, and today is Saturday, the 25th of September of 2021. Getting into fall real good here, and for those of you that are observing the Sabbath, hope you're having a good Sabbath today, getting close to the end of that as time goes on. Tomorrow will be Sunday, the 26th of September of 2021. Thank you for everyone who's been here on Rumble, on the podcast, and on YouTube. Welcome as well, but of course the point is thank you for doing so, for coming along. Remember that Rumble is my preferred platform. You can give me a positive Rumble, that would be a plus sign or a boxing glove on Rumble. You can give me a negative Rumble, that would be a minus sign on Rumble as well. You can give me a thumbs up or a like, that's essentially a positive feedback on YouTube. You can also give me a thumbs down or a dislike on YouTube. If I'm ratioed, I'm ratioed on any platform. That's life. I hope I get mostly positive feedback for people who pay attention to my stuff. Most of the time, I just don't get any at all. And again, one of the things that I would really like for people to do is comment on what I say, because I would really like for folks to tell me where I'm mistaken, where I'm correct, and so forth. That's something I really, really, really want to hear. So if you happen to be able to comment, that's a wonderful thing. In any case, I hope that you're having a good day today. I hope you're getting rest or doing whatever it is that you're enjoying doing today. Hope you are enjoying what you're doing today. And if you're not, I hope things get better for you. Thank you for those who are working this weekend. And hopefully we will see you again on Sunday's edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. This video was recorded on Saturday, September 25th of 2021. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for watching this edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I hope you found it entertaining or instructional, or maybe both. If you want to see more from me, you can go to blogs.kpschubert.com. That's blogs.kpschubert.com. I am on Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com. My handle on each of those is @kpschubert. That's @kpschubert. I have a Rumble and a YouTube channel. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels on Rumble and YouTube. I have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Kurt's Religion and Politics as well. I am on Patreon. If you want to support me, that's one of the better places you can do that, and you will find me at Kurt's Religion and Politics on Patreon. I have a podcast. The podcast is podcasts with an S .kpschubert.com. That's podcasts.kpschubert.com. I think you should be able to find me with relative ease on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify as well. The best way I find to do that is to look for Kurt's Religion and Politics. You can try to use the Daily Summation. I find that it doesn't work as well as a general rule, but you can always try that. I'm glad to have you aboard today, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.